It is 11 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, July 1st, 2025, and I've just moved the animals to a new row. I think this is 560 feet to 480 feet. I'll double check. But no new calves today. The animals are a little bit slow. I think it's not hot right now. It's about 80, 85. But they weren't like rushing into the new row. I assume because there's plenty of grass in the last row. That said, I do feel like the grass is getting thinner the further south I go. So I might, depending on how it goes in this row, I might have to expand the row to 100 feet or something like that. Just to make sure they're getting plenty of feed. I like to move them 7 times in a row for 3.5 days. So I'll be done with this row Friday morning, and then Friday afternoon I'll move them to the next row. Just keep a little system going there. So every Tuesday morning and Friday afternoon I'm busy setting up new rows and moving them. It takes a little extra time to do that. Yeah, I really don't have much to add. I'm glad that July is finally here. I'm looking forward to August, especially because I expect a bunch of lambs, and there's a bit of a concern that it might be too hot for the lambs. We might lose some to heat. I don't think so, though. The temperatures in July and August tend to be mid 90s. Sometimes it gets to the upper 90s. But on the days that it's hottest, there tends to be less humidity. So a very high humidity, 85, feels pretty much the same as a low humidity, 95 or 100. So at least to me, it feels that way, and I think the animals as well. I don't notice that they really suffer when the temperature's high, but the humidity is low. There's a chance that we get some rain today, maybe some tomorrow. It would be well received. It would kick up the humidity a bit, probably bring temperatures down a little bit too. But enough about the weather. So this part of the pasture, there's not a lot of trees. The northern half. Let's see if I can look around and show you where the next tree is. So there's some trees there. That's probably 200 or 300 feet away. So that's a week and a half or two. That one's a little further down. They really like that tree. They hang out under that tree a lot. I think because it's near the water source. And then once we hit the pond, which is about the halfway mark, once we get like just south of the pond is the halfway mark, there's a whole forest there. And furthermore, if I feel like the temperature gets too high, I can move them down there. I think there's plenty of grass down there. But I also have the neighbor's back 20, which is mostly woods. And there's ponds and stuff, so they can mess around in those ponds. I was planning not grazing there at all this year, but if the heat does get a little bit too much and I see them stressed out because of it, I'll move them back there. But right now they don't seem too stressed. So Texas gets hot, Northeast Texas gets hot and humid, but hey, it's good grass growing weather. And you can't complain with how much grass you get in a year. So I could go out to where it's cooler temperatures, but then I'd only be growing grass 4 months out of the year. And we wouldn't get any warm season grasses at all. Or I can go to drier climates where nothing grows at all, That's really your choice. It's either hot and humid or you don't get much grass. So I'm glad to be here. And I'm looking for animals that are adapted to the heat. They do well in the heat. And I just discovered recently that apparently horns, the horns help keep the animals cool. So I have 2 rams that have horns. They're Katahdin something, right? In there, Katahdin-ish. And if I can get horns on my sheep, that might help them deal with the heat better. I'm going for the South Pole. I think the pole stands for no horns. So I probably won't get horns on the South Pole. However, the South Pole was bred specifically to be a heat-tolerant animal. And they're smaller, so they probably have an easier time dealing with the heat. And they're more efficient on the grass too. So I'm going that direction. I have a South Pole bull. I only have a couple calves that are probably half South Pole. The goal was to get a whole bunch of South Pole, half South Pole calves, but that didn't happen. So, and that's all we got for today. And red is probably going to be gone next week or the week after. take her to the sale barn on Monday, depending on how prices are. And that'll be that. And I'll be down to, I think, like 16 cows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 cows. And yeah, I'll just keep culling the cows that don't do well, the ones that don't breed back, and rebuilding from there. Just keeping all the heifers, the half South Pole heifers I can, and as many cows as I can. Ideally, I want to use about 20 animal units for my cows. When I get tons and tons of grass in the future, maybe I'll go up to 30 animal units cows. The rest of the animal units will all be sheep. So right now I have about 100 sheep. I think that's about 15 animal units, right? But I want to get the number of animal units of sheep way up there. So guys, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.